WRAL is following a breaking news story. One person was seriously injured during a shooting at a gas station. This happened in Harnett County. Deputies say multiple shooters are involved in this case.
And it is the first day of a new school year for thousands of Wake County students. We have coverage across the Triangle. We're also monitoring traffic for you as your students head back to the classroom. Wake County schools, today is the day. Welcome back to school. I'm Michelle McConaughey.
And I'm Chris Levingood. I think one thing that a lot of parents right now are probably in the or trying to get in the habit of is waking up, making sure kids get out the door, doing their thing.
Yeah, so packing the lunches.
It's either a good thing you're seeing us right now or you're late and you're seeing us right now. But either way, we're so happy for you to join us here. We want to make sure we get you started right with your weather forecast. We have meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, who's been preparing that for you as you head out the door this morning.
Oh, it's going to be a hot one today. As the kids get off the bus, it's going to feel like 100 degrees. So this morning, it's feeling a little more comfortable. We do have mainly clear skies, a little bit of haze in the atmosphere, 71 the temperature in the Triangle, and our dew point 67. So, that's going to be kind of a middle of the road feel. It doesn't feel as oppressive as it can feel sometimes in July and August, but it also doesn't feel like it felt last week. Quarter-mile visibility right now in Clinton, just a little bit more than that there in Goldsboro. And these are the two counties where we do have a dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock this morning. So Sampson County and Wayne County, if you're in those counties, just be careful heading out the door this morning. Otherwise, things are pretty quiet for us. Mostly temperatures are starting to creep back into the low 70s right now. It is 63, though, up in Roxborough. Temperatures this morning, just a few degrees warmer than yesterday, anywhere from 3 or 4 to around 7 or so. But again, the heat is on this afternoon as it starts to feel more like the triple digits. Actual highs are in the mid-90s. We're on the dry side today, a small chance of a shower in our northeastern counties, but a better chance for rain as we get into the holiday weekend. We'll take a look at that coming up, Ken.
What is happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center? We got some huge problems that's developing right now in the westbound lanes of I-40. A couple of incidents really right now to report. One is on near the South Saunders Street. The other one is near Hammond Road. You can see that's been causing some bumper-to-bumper traffic. Let's go take you outside and show you exactly what we're talking about. This was supposed to be an I-40 and Rock Quarry Road camera, but here you can see there's a crash being investigated right now. We'll try to figure out exactly what's going on, but right now it doesn't appear to be causing too much of a problem. As you can see, one lane is closed near that school zone. Again, we'll work to see exactly what's going on and let you know how much that's going to affect you in terms of that particular school we're talking about. This is another crash investigation going on in the eastbound lane near New Bern Avenue, but really the troubled spot are really in the westbound lanes there, and that's the usual trouble spot we see this time of the morning. I want to keep you updated on this crash on Lewisburg Road in the northbound lane at Perry Creek Road. You can see the huge backup it's causing on Lewisburg Road. I was recommended Capitol Boulevard, but even that's getting to be backed up a little bit. But you decide. You might have a local route that you know about, and you should take that this morning.
All right, thanks, Ken. Following some breaking news in the last 10 minutes, we've learned the person hit by a train earlier this morning in Durham has died. Police say a Norfolk Southern train hit the man on the tracks near East Pettigrew Street and South Alston Avenue at about 5:20 this morning. The man later died at the hospital. East Pettigrew Street is closed at Ramister Street, South Plum Street, and South Driver Street as officers investigate there.
Breaking news WRAL is following. We have confirmed one person was hurt in a shooting at a gas station in Harnett County. Deputies spent several hours investigating a Circle K in Broadway. That's near Sanford. WRAL's Nick Perlin was there and the breaking news tracker where he saw damage from the shooting.
Harnett County deputies are searching for multiple shooters this morning after a late night shooting at this gas station behind me left one person in critical condition and the front door shattered. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see what I'm talking about here. The front door of this Circle K is damaged after the shooting, and this black car was being searched all morning by investigators. Now this is the timeline we were told by deputies. About 15 minutes away from this Circle K, there was some sort of incident, and at some point the shooters ended up at this Circle K on US 421 near Broadway Road and started opening fire. They shot one person multiple times. That person was taken to the hospital and is under critical condition right now. We're still asking deputies if they have any leads on who these shooters are, and of course we're trying to get more information on how the person who was shot is doing. I'll stay on top of this one and keep asking for more information. In Harnett County, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
A woman is hurt after a shooting at an apartment complex in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on Glasscock Street in East Raleigh while police investigated last night. Investigators say the woman who was hurt is expected to recover, but so far, no arrests.
Today, thousands of students are waking up early to head back to school in Wade County. And all morning long, we have you covered as your back to school headquarters with our team coverage. We're tracking school buses from the Wade County Bus Depot. That's where we find WRAL's Kelsey Coffee. But first, WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Green Magnet Elementary School. And Laura, school leaders are excited about new changes for this school year.
Michelle, good morning. Teachers and staff are eager this morning, patiently waiting for those little kids to come here and arrive to school. Welcome back. You can see the sign here in front of the school waiting for those students to arrive. But we do have some good news. They'll have more educators inside school buildings like this one for the new school year. The district says school vacancies are down. 253 teaching positions are vacant. Now that's 59 less than at the start of last year. Wake School employees will also see bigger paychecks this year as pay raises are in effect. The raises include a 4% increase in the local salary supplement for teachers. Salaries for teachers with no experience start at $48,339 and $20 minimum salary for bus drivers and $17.75 for an hour for other support staff. We also know this year a 25-cent across the board price increase for school breakfast and lunch is taking effect. However, dozens of schools have been applied to a new program where they can serve free meals.
It levels the playing field. It is very exciting to know that my leaders have the choice of having not only free breakfast, but free lunch daily. And so it's long overdue, and we're very excited to have been chosen as one of those schools.
And that is the principal of Green Magnet Elementary School you just heard from. We know that there's also the Say Something app that's rolling out this year that will allow students and staff to report tips anonymously. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And our team coverage continues with WRAL's Kelsey Coffee. She joins us live from the bus depot on Rock Quarry Road. And Kelsey, you're tracking the bus delays as they show up on the district's website. Have you seen anything in the last 30 minutes?
Chris, we have. So right now we're tracking about 30 delays. About 15 minutes ago, there were only 12. So we'll take you to some video now so you can see some of those drivers getting ready to head out of the bus depot earlier this morning. These delays are impacting Millbrook High, Martin Middle, Apex Middle, and several other schools. The latest delay I'm seeing is about 35 minutes behind schedule. There is a new bus delay notification system this school year for parents. Now you'll be able to receive texts and emails about bus delays. You can also still go on the district's website for updates. So we'll be sure to keep monitoring these delays throughout the morning. Kelsey Coffee, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And today will be the first day of school for students in Person County after a 2-week delay because of mold in schools. Earlier this month, school leaders discovered mold at Person County High School, South Elementary School, and Oak Lane Elementary School. And they say it likely happened because of construction and because air conditioning was being cut off during nights and weekends. The district set aside $700,000 to address the problem at the high school alone.
Today, students at St. Augustine's University will begin to move onto campus ahead of the delayed start to the fall semester. Classes were originally scheduled to start on August 19th. Earlier this month, St. Aug President Marcus Burgess said that the university needed more time to make maintenance upgrades to dorms and classrooms. He also said St. Aug was working to finalize funding to pay overdue student refunds and staff salaries from last semester.
Today, you can share your thoughts about the need for more affordable housing in Lee County. The county's S3 Housing Advocacy Action Group is hosting a meeting tonight at 6 o'clock at Manna Church on Burns Drive in Sanford. Experts will talk with community members about housing needs and strategies. This is the last of 4 scheduled public meetings on the topic.
Sean Diddy Combs is fighting back against one of the many lawsuits filed against him. Hear what his attorneys are saying about a former producer's allegations.
And a children's book caused a fire to spark under a car seat. The warning from a North Carolina fire department and the precautions you should take.
And our temperatures are starting to creep up as you head out the door. This afternoon, it could feel as hot as the triple digits and continue to climb from there through the next several days. I'll show you what to expect coming up.
Welcome back. 8:13 on your Tuesday morning as we look live in Fenton and Cary. Blue skies and sunshine. Things are really going to heat up today. It's going to be hot. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner right now, though, we're talking about a dense fog advisory for some of our southern counties.
Yeah, down around Clinton and Goldsboro, we've seen visibilities drop down to around a quarter of a mile or so. So up until 10 o'clock, we have a dense fog advisory for Sampson and Wayne counties. Haven't seen any problems in any other part of the viewing area. I've been checking the cameras pretty regularly, and we're looking at mainly clear skies everywhere else. But the visibility in Clinton is a quarter of a mile, and that is what we would consider fog, and close to that in Goldsboro as well. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh, though. We're seeing mostly sunny skies here. High pressure has kept things dry for us for the last couple of weeks, but that high will slide eastward, and you can see a couple of fronts that are up to our north and west. Those start to push closer to us toward the end of the week and will stall near us over the weekend, and that's going to bump up our chance for showers and storms. That really kicks off on Thursday. This is Thursday morning at 8 a.m. You can see that warm front kind of sags a little closer to us. By the time we get to lunchtime, we're seeing some showers in the north, but it will likely be mid to late afternoon before we see much of that across the rest of the viewing area. And then once we get past sunset, most of that will die off. But we do have a level 1 risk for severe storms on Thursday. The greatest threat would be wind damage, but you can see that does cover the entire viewing area for Thursday. We may see that added to Friday, Saturday, even Sunday as we get a little closer to the weekend. Speaking of the Labor Day weekend, still going to be hot, at least for the first half of the holiday weekend. Humidity remains high, too. It's going to feel fairly tropical, and with that front nearby, we'll be back to afternoon chances for storms. On Friday, it's 40%, Saturday 40%, then it bumps up to 60% on Sunday and Monday. So we're going to be back into not a complete washout. It's mainly going to be afternoon and evening storms, so keep that in mind as you're making your plans. Tropical outlook, 20% chance this develops in the next 7 days. That's not a huge chance, but certainly in the next 2 to 3 weeks, as we are now in the peak of the hurricane season, there's greater than a 60% chance that something could develop off the coast of Africa headed toward the Leeward Islands. We see 70% of our major hurricanes in this time frame between now and October 10th. And coming up in just a few minutes, Chris Michaels is going to come and explain why we're going to see things getting cranked up a little bit more in the tropics potentially. That heat tomorrow and Thursday, upper 90s. It'll feel like triple digits. I'm going to show you what it will feel like with the heat index for the rest of the week. Coming up, Ken.
Hi, Elizabeth. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Brett Neese has been monitoring the roads for your back-to-school commute. Let's get right to Brett Neese right now. He's live in downtown Raleigh. Brett, set the scene for us, and where are you?
Yeah, hey, we are on Hillsborough Street right now. We're going to turn on to St. Mary's Street as we head towards Wiley Elementary School, which is right there on St. Mary's. It's a spot where we sometimes see some traffic build up because of the carpool lane that spills out onto St. Mary's. So we're going to turn this corner and look at that. We've been to a number of schools this morning, including West Millbrook. That's where one of the bus areas are, where the bus drivers kind of start their day. But as we turn on St. Mary's Street here, this is one of those streets where we can see those carpool lines start to form and back up. One area where we did see some problems earlier today was at East Wake High School on Rollsville Road. We watched as a number of parents dropped their students off on the side of the road, on Rollsville Road, instead of getting into the customary carpool line. So that is one issue that we did see specifically so far, but as we approach this elementary school, it doesn't look like the carpool line's filled up too much yet as we approach 8:15, 8:30 hour here, and it's good news so far here at this particular school, but we're going to continue to check out a number of other elementary schools as the morning progresses here on the first day of school, back at it, Ken, and we're going to continue to let you know if any other issues pop up.
Yeah, carpool lines don't begin for us for another couple of weeks with our preschoolers, so looking forward to that. We do have a troubled spot, and Brett Neese was just involved in this troubled spot on the westbound lanes of I-40 this morning. We've got a couple of incidents. First of all, there's a disabled vehicle in the westbound lanes near at Hammond Road. Also, there's a crash on near South Saunders Street there on I-40 westbound. And for those of you listening to us on the radio, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you're stuck in this traffic, the westbound lanes here on I-40 and Rock Quarry Road are moving away from us at a very slow clip this morning. So keep that in mind and try to avoid this south side of the Beltline if you can. There are a couple of things we definitely want to show you this morning as we look at those major roads coming into the capital city. You can see I-540, a huge bumper-to-bumper traffic, as well as the north side of the Beltline. We're seeing some congestion there as well. So as you begin to head out, look for those alternate routes, and I'll get some for you in the next few minutes or so.
All right, thanks, Ken. State and local geologists will spend the next few days assessing the potential for more landslides in Ketchikan, Alaska, after one on Sunday killed one person and injured 3 others. Several homes were destroyed. Homes next to the slide area are still being assessed. One person who lives in the area recalls the moment that disaster hit, sending her neighbor's house into her yard.
There was a big flash that came on. Seen through the window, I thought it was lightning. Then all of a sudden, our house started shaking. That was from the landslide and the house coming down into our yard.
Wow. The landslide followed a weekend of rain after an abnormally dry month.
People in the Midwest are experiencing a heat wave. According to the National Weather Service, Chicago will be under an excessive heat warning until today, with temperatures feeling close to 115 degrees. People are being asked to stay inside if possible. Cooling centers are also open in the city, but thankfully, the forecast shows a cool down on the way this weekend. Our area is expected to get intense heat, but our meteorologists say that the heat index will not approach 115 locally. Actually, my hometown, 103 degrees yesterday. Today, Italian authorities will question the captain of a super yacht that sank off Sicily last week. That's the one that killed 7 people. Prosecutors are investigating 51-year-old James Cutfield of New Zealand on possible charges, including manslaughter. Under Italian laws, being under investigation doesn't imply any guilt and doesn't necessarily lead to criminal charges. Other members of the crew have also been questioned.
The New Jersey woman caught on camera climbing into a tiger enclosure at a zoo has been found and charged. Bridgeton police say 24-year-old Zaire Dennis has been charged with trespassing and also violating 2 city ordinances. Officials began investigating after seeing this video and photos taken of the incident that happened at the New Jersey Zoo. Police say there is also video appearing to show Dennis doing something similar at a bear enclosure on the same day. Dennis is scheduled to appear in court next month.
Sean Diddy Combs is fighting back against a lawsuit from a former employee. Yesterday, Combs' attorney filed a motion to dismiss the civil lawsuit. It was filed by producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. The lawsuit alleges Combs sexually harassed and abused Jones from September 2022 to November 2023. Combs claimed the lawsuit is filled with, quote, legally meaningless allegations and blatant falsehoods. His words. Jones is seeking $30 million in damages.
Care.com is agreeing to pay millions of dollars over deceptive job listings. The FTC says it reached an agreement with the caregiving website to pay $8.5 million in customer refunds. The agency alleged in a federal complaint that the platform misled job seekers about how many job openings were available. Care.com says while it's agreeing to pay the settlement, it is not validating the claims.
Firefighters in Burke County, North Carolina say a children's book with a lithium battery inside overheated and started a fire inside a car. Now, thankfully, the child was not injured. Dave Faraday has the story and shows us the condition of the child's burned car seat.
Chief Bobby Craig at the George Hildebrand Fire and Rescue showed us what's left of the child's safety seat that caught fire. The fire department posted these photos after they say a toddler's book caught fire. The book has a button to make noises and is battery operated.
The world itself is moving toward lithium batteries, which propose some new troubles to the fire service. I don't know that they're, other than trying to keep them cool, I don't really know that there is any precautions.
Investigators say the book was placed between the child's safety seat and the van seat. They believe it was the small lithium battery that possibly overheated and started the fire. Sean Clerk lives just down the street with his 3 children and says the fire is a warning to parents and others.
No one actually thinks about stuff like that. It was a terrible thing. I'm just glad everybody was okay. It's a blessing that no one was in the car when it happened.
Firefighters estimate the damages to the interior of the minivan in the thousands of dollars. This fire lieutenant responded to the fire and says afterwards she called her daughter, who has similar books.
It was a real shock to a lot of us because several of the firefighters have young children. I have grandchildren.
That was Dave Faraday with that story. So far, there hasn't been any comment from the company that makes the book. The fire department is keeping the car seat for training purposes.
A SpaceX mission carrying 4 private citizens is now scheduled to launch tomorrow morning. The launch, originally scheduled for this morning, was pushed back after the discovery of a helium leak. Now the mission, known as Polaris Dawn, is set to take off from NASA's Kennedy Space Station in Florida sometime between 3:30 and 7 tomorrow morning. Once in space, the capsule will cross 2 dangerous bands of radiation on its journey.
Students are back in class weeks after an EF3 tornado damaged their school. Hear from parents who say it's a community effort to get their children back to class.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We are in for a very hot day today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner right now has a look over Clinton. Some low-lying clouds there.
Yeah, we've seen some low clouds, maybe a little bit of fog, down to about a quarter-mile visibility. Looks like those clouds are starting to lift a little bit, especially here in downtown. But officially, it's still a quarter of a mile and just a little bit better than that there in Goldsboro. Not really seeing any problems anywhere else. But we do have that dense fog advisory in effect for both the Goldsboro area and the Clinton area down to the south of the triangle. 72 Fayetteville, 69 in Irwin, 71 in Rocky Mount. Starting to see the temperatures warm up a little bit, and it will be a hot afternoon with highs in the mid-90s. Heat index right around 100.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, we got some congestion building on some of our major roads here in Wake County, the Beltline, I-540 as well. With that in mind, let's just take a quick look at some of the major roads and the delay times you're seeing coming into the capital city. Real and truly, the troubled spot is US 1. Our friends up Wake Forest, if you're heading into the capital city this morning, you're looking at a 16-minute delay. If you're coming in from Knightdale on those southbound lanes of I-87, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. And of course, those westbound lanes of I-40, you're looking at a 7-minute delay. Over in Durham, I-885 heading into the Bull City, it's getting a little better. That number was higher. Right now, you're just looking at a 5-minute delay heading into the Bull City.
All right, thanks, Ken. A woman is hurt after a shooting at an apartment complex in Raleigh. It happened on Glasscock Street after 10 o'clock last night. Police say the woman who was hurt is expected to recover. So far, no arrests have been made. Next on Fox 50, it's the first day of school for students in Wake County. And next on Today, inside an experiment proving that planting trees can improve the environment.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news at 8:30 now. Harnett County deputies are investigating a shooting at a gas station. What we know about the shooting and how serious the victim's injuries are.
And boy, it's going to be a hot afternoon for us as the kids are getting off the bus. Temperatures are going to feel like triple digits. We'll see that for the next several days.
And North Carolina's largest school district is returning to class. We have team coverage across the county to get you ready for your new routine there. We have Kelsey Coffey and Laura Levine going to be joining us in just a bit. But first, thank you so much for joining us here on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yes, it is the first day of school for Wake County. A lot of the students in class probably by now are heading to class. It's going to be a hot day for the first day of school. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is talking about mid to upper 90s.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to be close to record highs over the next couple of days. So find a shady spot if you have to be outside. And we always recommend the gardens. Looking beautiful here this morning. Right now it's 71, but our dew point is at 67. And, 67 is a relatively high dew point, but it's not as bad as it could be. And our temperature at 71, we're just going to feel middle of the road. It doesn't feel as refreshing as it did last week, but it may feel hotter and more humid over the next couple of days. Clinton, quarter-mile visibility right now. Goldsboro at about a third of a mile visibility. We do have a dense fog advisory for Sampson and Wayne counties up until around 10 a.m. Haven't seen any real problems in other part of the viewing area. Temperature mid-60s in Roxboro. Elsewhere, we're starting to move into the low 70s, and we're about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. Again, that heat index is going to bounce us up to around 100 about the time the kids are getting out of school, and the actual highs will be in the mid-90s. Now, we're mainly dry today. Small chance of a thunderstorm in our northeastern counties, but that chance of rain really starts to go up just in time for the holiday weekend. I'll show you how to potentially plan around it coming up, Ken.
8:31, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're keeping an eye on that south outside of the Beltline that's been a real trouble spot up until now. Right now, a crash that just cleared as I was walking toward the traffic map, which is a good thing. But you still see the lingering delays right there, starting back to Rock Quarry Road. And speaking of which, let's give you a live look now at those westbound lanes. This is a live look at I-40 and Rock Quarry Road. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic, those westbound lanes moving away from us this morning, adding quite a bit of time to your morning commute. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. We're also monitoring this crash on Rock Quarry Road proper in the westbound lane near Shepherd Valley Street. You can see some bit of a lingering delay there on those westbound lanes of Rock Quarry Road. So you might want to keep that in mind as well. For some news, there's a crash on the southbound lane at Strickland Road. About a half hour ago, it was bumper-to-bumper traffic in that area, but right now you can see that's likely in the clearing phase, so you won't have to worry about that at this point. At this point, let's take a look at those major roadways coming in to the capital city. US 1 Capitol Boulevard remain a trouble spot for our friends coming in from Wake Forest this morning. And the other trouble spot, those westbound lanes, you're looking at a 9-minute delay on I-40 westbound.
Thank you, Ken. Breaking news, the person hit by a train early this morning in Durham has died. Investigators say a Norfolk Southern train hit the man on the tracks near East Pettigrew Street and South Alston Avenue around 5:20 this morning. The man later died at the hospital. East Pettigrew Street is closed at Ramseur Street, South Plum Street, and South Driver Streets as officers investigate.
And breaking news, WRAL has confirmed that one person was hurt in a shooting at a gas station in Harnett County. Deputies spent several hours investigating at a Circle K in Broadway, that's near Sanford. WRAL's Nick Perlin was there in the breaking news tracker where he saw the damage from the shooting.
Harnett County deputies are searching for multiple shooters this morning after a late-night shooting at this gas station behind me left one person in critical condition and the front door shattered. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see what I'm talking about here. The front door of this Circle K is damaged after the shooting, and this black car was being searched all morning by investigators. Now this is the timeline we were told by deputies. About 15 minutes away from this Circle K, there was some sort of incident, and at some point the shooters ended up at this Circle K on US 421 near Broadway Road and started opening fire. They shot one person multiple times. That person was taken to the hospital and is under critical condition right now. We're still asking deputies if they have any leads on who these shooters are, and of course we're trying to get more information on how the person who was shot is doing. I'll stay on top of this one and keep asking for more information. In Harnett County, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Today, thousands of students are headed back to class in the state's biggest school district. It is the first day for Wake County schools, and WRAL is your back-to-school headquarters. We have team coverage as your new morning routines ramp up, including keeping an eye on the weather and traffic this morning. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Wake County Bus Depot on Rock Quarry Road. That's where she's tracking bus delays. Kelsey, you've been checking this ever so often. How many have you seen the past 30 minutes?
Chris, in the past 30 minutes, we've seen 32 total delays. So that's up from about 29, what we saw in the last half hour. So, of course, this lot now is empty as all of those buses are off to pick up students. But we'll take you to some video now so you can see drivers there preparing their buses to pick up the kids. So we're tracking over 30 delays so far this morning out of nearly 200 schools in the district. The latest delays we're seeing are an hour behind schedule. That's for two different routes that are headed to Millbrook High School. There is a new bus delay notification system this school year. Parents can now receive text messages and emails about bus delays. You can also still go to the district's website for updates. So we'll be sure to keep tracking these bus delays throughout the morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And this year, Wake County is rolling out new policies aimed at making sure that students are safe, fed, and that teachers are being fairly paid for their work. WRAL's Laura Levine is live at Green Magnet Elementary School. And Laura, the district has a new system that they hope will help with student safety, which is so important.
Absolutely. Good morning, Michelle. And we are beginning to see students arrive here at Green Magnet Elementary School. But in the next 10 to 15 minutes is really when we're going to see the buses and vehicles rolling in here to welcome back those students. Some good news to report. They'll have more educators inside school buildings like this one in Wake County Public Schools. The district says school vacancies are down. 253 teaching positions are vacant. That's 59 less than at the start of last year. Wake school employees will also see bigger paychecks this year as pay raises are in effect. The raises include a 4% increase in total salary or local salary supplement for teachers. Salaries for teachers with no experience start at $48,339. $20 minimum salary for bus drivers and $17.75 an hour for other support staff. I spoke with Superintendent Robert Taylor earlier this morning about some of his priorities for this year.
It levels the playing field. It is very exciting to know that my leaders have the choice of having not only free breakfast, but free lunch daily. And so it's long overdue, and we're very excited to have been chosen as one of those schools.
And that is the principal of Green Magnet Elementary School. This school is one of dozens that was qualified for a program for free meals. So many people excited about providing free breakfast and lunch to students. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And keeping your kids cool as they return to class is a priority during the heat that we're experiencing. Today, Wake County school leaders will receive an update about HVAC systems in schools. Wake schools closed more than 40 times in the past year because of failing HVAC systems. And some areas of concern being addressed today are the age of these systems and staffing. That meeting gets started at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Weeks after an EF3 tornado damaged Springfield Middle School in Lucama, students are back in the classroom. Crews worked around the clock to make sure it was ready and safe for students ahead of the first day on Monday. The 6th and 7th grade hallways saw the most damage. Those students are using other parts of the school for now. Parents say it's been a community effort to get their kids back to class.
Seeing the small community get together, uplift this school, and I'm sure it's going to be a good year for the students and teachers, and they'll probably create a great bond with having to rebuild back together.
The Wilson County School District is asking the community for donations as it continues to rebuild. We have links to donate on our website, WRAL.com.
Drugs, guns, and suspected criminals are off the streets in Durham. That's because police announced a major crackdown resulting in 18 arrests. Investigators targeted the areas of Bragtown, Glenbrook Drive, and Cornwallis Road. The people who were arrested are facing charges including murder, trafficking, and possession of a stolen gun. And it all started with one tip.
Or crime reduction is such a partnership. So it's up to the community. We want the community to provide us information, and then we act upon that information.
2024 data shows the number of people shot in Durham is up by about 43.8% compared to the first 6 months of last year. Deadly shootings were up 16%, and non-fatal shootings were up 50%. Durham's police chief says that she hopes with more operations like this one, the next report will show a downward crime trend overall. A high school football player is fighting to be able to profit off of his name, likeness, and image. Why some sports experts say there is a great line for NIL deals for athletes under the age of 18.
Plus, a piece of New York Yankees history has a new owner. How much the jersey Babe Ruth wore when he hit one of the most iconic home runs sold for.
And we want to get you a live look this morning of Fenton and Cary. Just another beautiful day as you're waking up on this Tuesday. It is the 60th day of 90-degree weather this year expected. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will talk about how many more days of 90 degrees we can expect to see.
It is 8:43. We're taking a live look at Clinton because we had low visibility here, at least showing up on the sensors. Things are looking pretty good right here in downtown. Definitely some remnants of some low clouds that we're dealing with. And there is still a dense fog advisory in effect until 10 o'clock for Sampson County and Wayne County. So if you're in that area, just be on the lookout, especially low-lying areas, especially near creeks. Our temperatures have felt pretty okay this morning, not as refreshing as last week or over the weekend, but it's 68 in Roxborough, 67 Southern Pines. Elsewhere looking at low to mid-70s. It was a beautiful evening last night. Take a look at Bob Dunbar's picture from Wake Forest, that Weather Watcher photo. Gorgeous sunset with the pond and the beautiful fountain. We would love to see your Weather Watcher photos too. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, and send us a few. Ooh, we don't want to see this though. 97 in Raleigh this afternoon, 96 in Durham and in Fayetteville, and that is 10 degrees above normal. Our normal is 87. We hit 98 on Wednesday and Thursday, and we're going to continue to add more moisture to the atmosphere, so our heat index is going to go up. Look at this. We go from humid today and tomorrow to tropical Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and that is the top tier there on our muggy meter. So it's just likely to feel like 100 today and 102 tomorrow, but 107 Thursday. That's the a day that we'll really watch carefully. It's possible that the Weather Service would issue a heat advisory for a heat index at 107. Near record heat, just 1 degree from it today, 97 versus the record of 98. And then the record is 100 tomorrow and Thursday. So just 2 degrees off of that. So yeah, it's not normally this hot this time of year. The Bulls are at home this week, and by 6:30, the temp drops a little. 90 for today, 93 tomorrow, and then more on Thursday, but that could be because of the potential for some scattered storms. College football is back too. NC State has its home opener. 82 degrees at game time. They play Western Carolina. Late thunderstorms, though, possible during the game. And on Friday, it's the home opener for for Duke. 75 degrees. Again, a little better chance for some scattered storms, and that will be the pattern going forward through the holiday weekend. Temperatures will drop, and then they may stay that way. We have a good chance of below normal temperatures for that first full week of September. So it may be that this here, just heat wave may not last too long. As we drop to around 80 degrees on Monday, we may not see any 90-degree days next week, and that would be a treat. But again, you may have to plan around some showers and storms for the holiday weekend. Oh, yeah, I want to send it over to Chris, who's also talking about the tropics, which should be pretty active this time of year.
Yeah, and speaking of thunderstorms, you tend to see or typically see those storms really getting going in the tropics, specifically within this region. And we now have a 20% chance of development within what's called the main development region. So far this year, we've gotten through the E-named storm. Francine would be next, assuming that the one I just showed you does develop here within the next 7 days. But that's not the only thing that we'll have to keep an eye on. Some of the latest forecast data, the more reliable forecast data, shows the chance for multiple waves to be forming near the west coast of Africa and then moving east to west from there. Nothing surprising about that. This is typically the time of year when we start to see more of those waves developing off the west coast of Africa. Average peak hurricane season, that goes from August 20th until October the 10th. So we're right in the thick of that. September the 10th is the peak of hurricane season. And this is typically where you see those storms developing in the reds and in the pinks. So just because it's quiet doesn't necessarily mean it's over. We'll keep close tabs on the tropics here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center over the next few weeks.
Israeli military says it has.
Heartbreaking news from Mariah Carey. The singer shared that both her mother, Patricia, and her sister, Allison, died on the same day over the weekend. In her 2020 memoir, Carey wrote about her rocky relationship with her mother. However, she said in a statement that her heart is broken and she was grateful to have spent the last week with her mother. Mariah and her sister, Allison, had an estranged relationship for years. The causes of their deaths have not been released.
Should high school athletes be able to profit from their name, image, and likeness? That is the question behind a new lawsuit a Greensboro athlete's mother filed against the State Board of Education. Faison Brandon says that he is missing out on money because of North Carolina's ban on NIL for public school athletes. Brandon's mother filed the lawsuit on her son's behalf. A sports lawyer tells WRAL there can be some gray areas in this debate, especially for athletes under the age of 18.
Most states not even able to don't even have the capacity to contract, so they can't even enter into an NIL agreement on their own. Their parents have to do it for them.
Athletes on private school teams that compete in the North Carolina Independent School Athletic Association are free to participate in NIL deals.
Police in Texas are looking for a missing woman who is the daughter of a former Major League Baseball player. Brenna Swindell is the daughter of longtime pitcher Greg Swindell. The 29-year-old mother was last seen Thursday night at a bar in Austin. She was there with her ex-boyfriend, Morgan Goodry. That's the last time he's been seen as well. Greg Swindell says that Goodry has an outstanding warrant and is violent. Authorities say a car associated with Goodry and Brenna Swindell may have been spotted in Colorado.
A babysitter in St. Louis is being recognized for her quick acting after saving 2 toddlers and a dog from a house fire. 15-year-old Savannah Struther was babysitting her neighbor's children last month when a fire started. You can see it right there through the door. The teenager acted without hesitation, grabbing the 1- and 3-year-old kids as well as the dog to get them to safety. She says that her advice for anyone in that situation is to stay calm. And those calm instincts are something Savannah's mother says that come naturally.
very mature. She has this little motherly instinct in her that is amazing. She's really good with her younger sisters, and she is my little partner forever.
Good on her. Savannah was recognized yesterday for her actions with a ceremony at the local fire department. She was also given the Hometown Hero Award.
The young boy who helped Florida win the Little League World Series for the first time proved it is not always about swinging for the fences. Check out this game-ending play. Hunter Alexander bunts the ball and hopes to just advance the runner, but both Chinese Taipei's pitcher and first baseman go for the ball, leaving first base wide open. An overthrow into right field leads to Lake Mary winning it all. The walk-off bunt was celebrated inside and outside of the stadium.
I got like 100 texts right after the game just from my friends telling me, great bunt, good game, congratulations.
Hey, yeah, that's amazing. The team even showed sportsmanship, hugging and consoling the opposing team.
Yeah, good for him. A piece of New York Yankees history is now the most expensive game-worn jersey ever sold. It's the jersey Babe Ruth wore in Game 3 of the 1932 World Series against the Chicago Cubs. That is when he hit the infamous shot-called home run after he pointed to the bleachers and hit it there in the 5th inning. Now, the iconic gray number 3 jersey is now the most valuable sports collectible ever.
Wow. Well, Emily in Paris travels to the Eternal City, and Kate Winslet takes on a new drama series. Here's Kristen Goodwin with more in the Hollywood Nation.
Where's Emily? She went to Rome.
Emily heads to Rome. Superman gets the spotlight, and Winslet lands a new gig in the Hollywood Nation. Kate Winslet will be on double duty for her next role. According to Deadline, the Oscar winner will executive produce and star in the Hulu series The Spot. She will play a successful surgeon whose marriage is tested and dark secrets are revealed when her schoolteacher husband suspects she might be responsible for a child's hit-and-run death.
Everybody's looking for a hero.
Late actor Christopher Reeves gets the spotlight in today's First Looks. Superman, the Christopher Reeves story, explores his legacy through never-before-seen home movies, archive material, and interviews. Reeves, who played the iconic superhero throughout the 1970s and 80s, was injured in a near-fatal horse riding accident in 1995 that left him paralyzed. He died in 2004 at 52 years old. The documentary will play in select theaters September 21st, followed by an encore presentation on Reeves' birthday, September 25th. Carla Sofia Gascon leads Netflix's Spanish-language musical Emilia Perez. She stars alongside Zoe Saldana and Selena Gomez in the crime drama about a lawyer who is kidnapped to help Perez undergo gender-affirming surgery in hopes of escaping their old life. The film plays in select theaters November 1st, followed by its streaming debut November 13th.
Buongiorno, Emily.
The streamer also released the trailer for Emily in Paris Season 4 Part 2. The video teases more drama and a new love interest for Emily, which leads her on a new adventure to Rome, Italy. The second half premieres on Netflix September 12th.
Surprise!
In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin.
New this morning, British rock band Oasis is reuniting for their first tour in 15 years. Noel and Liam Gallagher made the announcement this morning. The brothers have been feuding for more than 15 years, saying it was impossible for them to work with each other. But their new tour is set for the summer of 2025 with shows in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Good for them, burying the hatchet and working forward. And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers, just in case you missed them. And of course, we'll get you another check on weather and traffic. That's next.